Welcome back to On the Bench with Max and Mr. Black. This week on the bench we'll be doing some tool reviews, looking at some flea market purchases, and I'm really excited about those, and I'm going to tell you about our upcoming projects. Stay tuned.
On the bench. On the bench. On the bench.
I know some of you are thinking, wow, what a fantastic theme song for On the Bench with Max. I'd like to thank Jared, Madison and Claudia for putting that together. It's original, it's just for me, and I think the soundtrack to On the Bench with Max sounds almost professional. I think these guys are amazing, and they're actually artists. I'm honoured to have their music and their talent on the bench with Max. So big shout out to you guys, and stay tuned for the long mix of the soundtrack. Great stuff. The other thing is I'm really excited about is the subscribers. I have hit 14 subscribers, and I'm really excited about that. We've had 567 views. Now that equates to about over 1,000 minutes of watching. So you guys really need a life. Anyway, I'm having fun doing it, so I'm glad that you're watching. So this week, so excited because I've been to a flea market and I picked up some amazing tools, not only to do with woodwork, but for metalwork, the stuff I really like. So first of all, I'll get through a couple of these. This particular tool, and I don't know if you can see that, is just an old school scriber. I think it was, I think it's been handmade. It looks like the end of an old file. There's no name on it. It's got a beautifully shaped wooden handle. It fits good. You can scribe, you can grab it. So I'm going to use it for marking wood and marking and maybe scribing lines. I haven't run a file on it, but what I could do is run a file on it to check how hard it is. So we'll just grab a file and see if I can use that for. Let's just grab a file. The file's pretty easy, but I think I'll still be able to use it for layouts on steel as well. So I think that was 50 cents. Very good, very happy with that. I'll put another edge on that, but it's pretty good the way it is. So I think some people call them a scriber. I certainly call it a scriber. I'm not sure what they call them in the woodwork fraternity, but scriber's good for me. So that's the first thing. So hard earned, 50 cents. The next one was this fantastic, absolute solid billet piece of it. Looks like bright mild steel, and I've just cleaned it up. But it's got the string, and it's a plumb bob. And if you're not sure what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about a plumb bob, you can hang this from a rafter or from any surface, and the string comes straight out of the center like that, so it'll always hang perfectly square. So if you come off one side of, say, a piece of timber or a rafter or anything that you're measuring, let's have a look here. I'll see if I can give you a bit of an idea on how these things work. Now there's lasers and there's digital stuff these days, but the beauty of this particular plumb bob, it doesn't need batteries. You don't have to ask your niece or your nephew or your grandkids on how to use it, and it's always pretty accurate. So I'll tell you how we use it. So if I've got a rafter on a house, I can hang that over that rafter, and I can find exactly the spot where I need to find the center of a joist or a support or anything that I want to hang in line with this edge of the rafter. So plumb bobs, if you haven't got one, get one. Another 50 cents at the flea market. So what a great find. And it's beautifully made, and it's got a lot of weight to it. And I'm very, very happy with that particular purchase because I didn't actually have one. I used to use an old 5/8 bolt, or 3 or 4 of them on a bit of string to try and get those lines. So pretty happy to pick that one up. Next on the list was this particular instrument. Now it looks to me like something that a bricklayer would use for I don't know, pulling the mortar out between bricks. I'm not a builder, but I guess that's what I'd use it for. If you know exactly what this is for, I'd be keen to get your comments. You can tell me all about it. But it looks like it's been hand forged, because this looks like a railway nail or a big nail of sorts, and then it's been heated and beaten and hand shaped. I can see the file marks in it. I took all the pitting off it, and I just think it's an interesting piece. And once again, I could actually sharpen that and use that for scoring my my timber. If I had my square out, I could sharpen that, use it as my knife. It fits quite nice in my fingers, and there we go. Have a look at that. It's nice and deep. I don't know if you can see that. It's nice and deep. So I think brickies use them, but you know what? I'm going to use it for timber or woodwork. I still don't get that, by the way. Why is this timber and I'm doing woodwork and I'm not allowed to call it wood? Anyway, moving on. So that's that. The next one is this piece of kit. Now this says it's 1/2 inch. Exit Mr. Black. I must have bored him. This is 1/2 inch. This looks to me like it used to fit into the old bit and brace style drills. That's the old ones with a button on top, and you do give it some of this, which I intend to try and find. And it looks like a countersink. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like a countersink, a single flute cutting action. Now the beauty of this is I can go in there with a file and sharpen that up. And if I wanted to absolutely ruin it, which I don't, I could cut that off and put that in a drill press or a battery drill, and it would serve me for probably another 30 or 40 years. 10 cents. Got to keep your eye out. It looked like a rusty bolt, and I think the guy that sold it to me knew it was a rusty bolt. Anyway, there you go. So really excited about that. So what are we up to? $1.10 so far. The next ones are these absolute pearlers. Look at this. This is a protractor, and it's THEWLIS 282 from Warrington in England. Absolutely beautiful piece of kit. It's had a hard life, I can tell. It's still nice and smooth, but there's grind marks here. It's been ground here. It's copped a bit of a flogging, but I reckon this one has served somebody very, very well over the years. It's missing a set screw or a T-nut there, which when you can set it, you can set your angle or your circle, and away you go. Quite heavy, but you know, you can still mark with it. That's a very usable tool. I'm tipping that this thing was built in the 30s or 40s, but I'm digging it anyway. I love it. So while I found that one from England, this one popped up. Now this is a really fine instrument. It's got a marking on it. It's a 6 inch, number 6, could be a number 9, but it's made by, well, there's a mark on it. I'm not sure it's made by them, but it says KEEN MUTTER. Unless that's an N, that actually says to me keen mutter. I don't know what that is, but I'm digging it anyway. But if you have a good look at this thing, it's beautiful. It's got brass accents. All right, so there's a brass bush that runs through there, so longevity in that. It's got the normal swivel. Have a look at this one on steroids. You can see it. It's got a screw, an old wood screw there, and it looks like a I don't know, an 1/8 by 20 screw or something like that. That screws in once you set your angle, you put your screw in and away you go. If you're not quite spot on, you can do your screw up, and then you've got this fine adjuster here. It's a really beautiful tool, well made, and I hope this has served somebody very well for a lot of years. Once again, I think I paid like $3 or $4 for this particular piece of kit. Still quite sharp, but if you see here, it's done its time. It's not quite square there. It's got a bit of a woof in it, and somebody's had a straightener, but this side's pretty good. Great tool, loving that. So I'm actually thinking I might not put that in my tool collection. I might use that, but we'll see. So really happy with that. Cost me next to nothing. Then I found this. Now I remember as a kid, my dad had one or two of these things, and I used to love playing with it, and he used to love telling me off for it. Fantastic thing. It's an expandable ruler, and it goes to 3 feet 35 inches. It says on this side here, 36 inches, and the other side is the same, 36 inches. It's got I think everybody's seen these. I just love the way these hinges are put in. You can see that they're pinned, but the joinery here to get this particular ruler right. Now I'm getting stuck into this woodwork. That is absolutely fantastic work. It's made by a company called Raybone, and it is boxwood, and it's made in England, and it's a beautiful thing. It's been used. This thing hasn't been. It's been used in a toolbox. This thing's got all the markings on it that you'd expect on a really well-used, well-loved ruler. And I think I paid like $4 for it. It's beautifully made, nice and tight, and those pins, these pins here, I don't know if you can see them. Can you see those pins? They intersect with these matching holes, and it sits nice and tight. Everything's beautiful, probably still accurate. Just a lovely piece. Feels good to the hand. So somebody's had this in their hand or their apron, and they've used that. So I'm really lucky to get that. That's about the flea market stuff. So I think I'm out of pocket there, $25, $20, something like that. So what a fantastic thing. And if you don't do flea markets, then you should, because it's a great walk. You can do it when your wife's in bed on a Sunday morning, sleeping in, and your back hurts because you're getting old. Go for a walk, go to the flea market, and come home with a big stash of goodies. The last tool. You know, I bought a big router, a big plunge router, a 1/2-inch bore router, and I love using it. It's great fun. It's torquey. But what I wanted to do was put it into a bench. So I'm a big believer in repurposing stuff. So if somebody's selling it secondhand, I'm going to look on in Australia we call it Gumtree. You probably know it as Craigslist, or you'd have something very similar in whatever country you're watching from. So I found myself a Triton router bench. It is fantastic, and I don't think it's been used because there's not a scratch on the top. Downside is it's not complete. So all I've got is the bench, but I haven't got all the adjusting stations for it. So guess what? We have to make those. So that'll be another project coming up to make these. And luckily I've got enough routers and I've got enough metalwork experience to hand make these things. So that's going to be a bit of fun. But I'm looking forward to putting the router, the big scary one, into the Triton router bench, and then I'll have it tucked away in the corner. It comes with folded legs, and I'm looking forward to doing some great projects on that, and dados and all that sort of fruit that I keep seeing on YouTube. And by the way, I want to give a big shout out to my favourite YouTube channel guys, and that's Keith Fenner, A-Bomb. These are metalwork guys. You want to get on their channels because you'll learn so much. I'm a fitter and machinist, and I learn lots from these guys. They're just salt of the earth. So I'm going to give a shout out to my favourite YouTubers, one or two at a time, every week. So stay tuned for that. Now, the crescendo, because this is measurement, this is measurement, this is measurement, this is measurement, this is marking out measurements, not so much, and can be used for measurement. So this whole thing is all about measurement. So why stop there? Here are the crescendo to my flea market buys. Here we have a beautiful, well-used Michitoyo 0 to 1 inch micrometer. absolutely fantastic, and everything works. Comes up 0, 0, 0. The ratchet works beautifully. The lock mechanism works great. Probably a little bit there. Fantastic buy. This was $10. So you got to know what you're looking at. Michitoyo. Really happy with that find. I can adjust this as well. I can take this off and I can move it around. But very happy find. I am showing my age because I need to wear my glasses to read these things these days. But it also came in this handmade box. So somewhere along the line somebody's lost the original box, or it came in a set and put together this. You know, that's Max style woodwork from days gone by. So we might even make a little box with some finger joints or something to hold my 0 to 1 inch Michitoyo micrometer. Fantastic. Didn't pay a lot for that. I don't know, it must have been the day for Michitoyo products, because the next one I got was this fantastic piece. And it's 0 to 25 millimeters, and it's a digital micrometer. Not digital the way you see it, digital like an old clock. So I can read that without my glasses on. I don't know if you can see that, but let's go to 10 millimeters. Dial lines up, digital readout lines up. Now the only thing I need to do is find something that's like a gauge block. I haven't got any blocks with this. I got the spanner with the kit, but I didn't get any test blocks. But I'd love to see how it works. I was real quick to put my name on it too, by the way, because a lot of people like to borrow that sort of stuff. So I'm really happy with that buy, 0 to 25. So I got, oh, that's spot on, that thing, absolutely spot on, beautiful. You can see zeros, zeros, amazing. Very happy. That I don't think has seen much work. So 2 Michitoyos, 2 1-inch micrometers, 1 imperial, 1 metric. Fantastic. My calipers, my ruler, and all that. What a great morning I spent at the flea market. So if you don't do it, you should get onto it. That's enough from me. You've been on the bench with Max.
On the bench. On the bench.